everyone. Gratitude for joining us today. I am so excited to introduce Michelle Fletcher, founder of Holistic Wellness Network, who has been an amazing woman, a pillar in the community that I call Holistic Wellness. And she is such a genuine spirit and soul. I love talking to her, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today and talking about who you are, because we always talk about everything except for who you are and what you do and everything that you provide and give to us. So, Michelle, why don't you share a little bit about yourself with us today?
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I always love talking to Yali. Let me tell you, we get caught up in like
Yes,
yapping all the things. Super excited to be here today. And I'm so glad I got connected to you like over a year ago. And
yes,
we've just been moving and shaking together.
yes.
So, my background is in IT. I was an IT professional working in corporate for over 10 years. And then I had to leave that behind. And in that transition stage, I had two young kids. I mean, like under the age of two. I started to think about what did I really want to do? And one of my passions since I was a teenager has always been like health and fitness. And so fortunately, I was just connected with someone outside of my gym.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned whole food nutrition through supplements and like plant-based like meal replacements. And I was like, what? I never heard of this before. Because
Uh-huh.
I was like in my friend group, I was the health guru. Like I
Okay.
was helping friends lose weight. I helped a friend lose weight through fitness and her eating. Like she lost like 70 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was no training, like because fitness was my thing. I
Yeah.
went to university and I just, that was my stress relief, learning how to use the machines at the gym. I went to a university where they helped you learn how to use the machine. So they had personal trainers for
Oh,
all the students. You could just go
wow.
sign up. So by the time I graduated, I was a pro at like using all the machines. And then I was showing my friends and my coworkers used to come work out
Mm-hmm.
with me after work. I had my friend that would come with me and she's the one that lost a lot of weight. So I was always that health resource. And then I was always studying like what was in the health magazines, how to eat, those kind of.
Okay.
So that was just a big part of who I was. And so when I was transitioning, I was like, man, I really love health.
Mm-hmm.
And fitness was like the main thing I practiced was like my fitness. I was aware of like healthy eating, but I
Okay.
probably didn't practice nearly as much as I do now because I just didn't know enough. I
Mm-hmm.
thought eating like one or two fruits and vegetables a day was like doing so great, not even close. So that led to me being really intrigued by meeting that person that was telling me about this health and fruits and vegetables and capsules and gummies and I was like, I didn't even know this existed. And I'm someone who's always researching all this stuff. How did I not know?
Mm-hmm.
So I really dove into that. And I loved when I partnered with the company
Mm-hmm.
that sells these products called Juice Plus. When I partnered with them, I was so glad because one of their primary focuses is on education.
Okay.
So they talk about one of the first events I went to, which the person I met, she was the one, she invited me to come to an event in my house. It was on how autism, how food and disease
Mm-hmm.
plays a role in autism. And
Okay.
so her oldest child has high functioning autism. And when she changed his diet around 2 years old, two,
Mm-hmm.
3 years old, his behaviors changed. So a lot
Wow.
of times children with autism, they gravitate to beige foods. They don't want to eat fruits and vegetables. They just want to eat like breads and carbs and pastas. That's what
Okay.
they gravitate to. So I was really educated during that
Mm-hmm.
event she had for a bunch of moms that also had children with on the spectrum.
Okay.
And I was like, what? I had no idea how big of a role nutrition, especially plant nutrition, the things that God put on this earth for us to eat,
Right.
right? From the beginning of time, how much of a role that played in our health and not just our health, like our children's health, like anyone with a disease, anyone with any disease has more inflammation than the average person because their body's fighting that disease.
Right.
So anyone with a disease, how can they help to reduce symptoms? How can they help to reverse those issues? Nutrition is one of the top things. So I learned so much between autism, cancer, and my family's plagued with disease. So I was like
Okay.
just wanting to learn so much because I,
Yeah.
I really thought I was going to be, eventually get the
Yeah.
cancer. I was eventually going to get the diabetes that my dad had, the cancer, like all these things that ran in our family. I just assumed it was just going to be, you know, how you hear, oh, it's genetic. It's not. Only
Exactly.
it's not.
It's not.
It's 80% is your lifestyle
Yes.
and only 20%
Right.
is genetics. So you can turn on and off those switches. And so I'm so glad because it truly has put me on like the best path to
Yeah.
helping to prevent a lot of those issues.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. But we'll talk about that because you're doing amazing stuff that's coming up next month, but I'm going to allow you to share that with us. You just shared what inspired you to be where you're at today as the holistic guru, because that's my definition of you. Um,
I'm deep down the rabbit hole, girl. I know.
listen, listen. So, for those listeners, I call her a guru, and I have my reasons to call her guru. And as you just heard her share how she started and what motivated her to get to where she is today, when it comes to holistic living and holistic wellness. What do you think is important? Why do you think it's important to have a holistic approach to life itself?
Mhm. In all honesty, I think that was how we were created to live.
Yes,
And with this more holistic approach to the things that we do, and it's really bringing it back to the basics.
yes,
Eating the things that grow from the earth, not the things that come out of factories, right?
right.
Taking in the sun, taking in your environment, nature, all those
Yes,
things. That's what we were created and placed into when we were put on this earth. But because of human advancement, we've moved so far away from it. And
mm-hmm.
so now we have a generation that thinks that so many things that are not normal, that were man-made, are the norm. And
Yes,
like growing food is weird, and oh, you're eating, it's so strange. And I might be a little bit older than you, but because I grew up in the 70s,
yeah.
I, I've seen it all. And I grew up in another country, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
always in the Caribbean most
Right.
summers. So I have this sense of, oh, growing your food, how it tastes so much better, how it has
Absolutely.
way more nutrition than what we get here, how it's not like adulterated before we get it.
Right.
Like I have more of a concept of what things were like when it was more pure
Yes,
versus now it's wild out here, girl. It's a wild, wild west.
it is.
So holistic is going back to basic things that we used to do
Mm-hmm.
before all the advancements. And I mean, advancements can be good if we want to live in a way that is going to benefit us the most. Going back to those more holistic practices, taking time to like even meditate. We're living in such a fast pace
Yeah.
time. Like everything is so fast paced. And I don't know, I'm caught up in it too. Like every day I'm like, whoa, this week went by so fast.
Right?
Like the days are moving so fast because there's so much. And then we have technology that keeps us like dialed in all the time because the
Yes.
technology's in our hands. So if we were to go back to the basics, our bodies would be like so happy. Our bodies would be thanking us for just like taking it easy. And
Yes.
that's what happens when you leave this country, actually. I think a lot of people experience that. They go to,
Yes.
if you go back to Panama, if I go back to Jamaica, it's like more relaxed and you're
Yes.
eating more natural and your body is like loving it.
Yes. And I agree with you because I do taste the difference. I
Yeah,
generally don't eat chicken when I'm here, right? But I
smart.
can definitely taste the difference when I go to Panama and I eat chicken, taste the
Yes.
difference. Um,
Yes.
so I agree with you on that because the multitude of crap they're putting in our foods that's creating obesity, that's creating
Mm-hmm.
health issues. I'm not going to name them because then that's going to take us down a different rabbit hole. But the reason we have more obese people now than we did 10, 20 years ago,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it's because of the crap they're putting in their food to make it look pretty and for it to stay fresh as long as possible. And it's
Uh-huh.
affecting us with blood pressure, diabetes. You see, there's so many centers now, dialysis centers popping up everywhere. They're popping up like McDonald's. Did you notice that?
I
They're
know.
popping up like
Goodness.
McDonald's.
Yes, you're so right. And you know what? Those are the ones, those are the physical symptoms.
Correct.
And then you are a specialist in this, the mental health aspect. People don't
Absolutely.
realize how much the nutrition messes with their mental health,
Yeah.
like how it's blocking their clarity, how
Yes.
you can't think straight, how you can't make good decisions because you're not
Absolutely.
eating well.
Yeah. All of it. They're messing with everything that has to do with wellness. You
Yes.
know,
Yep.
even in the schools, we go, I remember growing up when, and I'm not that old, and neither are you, when we had the ladies cooking the food at the schools. I
Yeah.
experienced that.
Yes. Yes. So now they just have it shipped in the
Yeah,
trucks.
exactly.
Girl.
Exactly. Yes. But, and
We
then,
even used to have a salad bar, actually. I wonder if they still have a salad bar. I
mhm.
don't even know what's going on in the schools.
No,
But
they don't have any of that anymore. They have removed everything that has to do with mind, body, spirit that keeps our children in a wellness state of mind. That has
yes.
been removed. That has been
Hmm.
removed. And it's so sad because when you think about 10, 20 years down the road, what are we going to look like as a society?
And I really feel like, and this is, this is me going down a rabbit hole, but I feel like it's intentional, and it's the
Absolutely.
dumbing down of our society. It's
Absolutely.
another way to dumb down our society. Because if the food you're eating isn't helping you to uh, be at your optimal self, and you can't even, stay focused and have,
Right.
get your education because of the food you're eating,
Right.
come on.
Yeah. It's sad. But as parents, it's our responsibility to ensure that whatever is being removed, we are replacing it. But
Yeah.
again, if we are being dummied down as a society, then the parents don't even know that that's happening, right?
I
And
know.
but that's one of the things I talk to parents about a lot, making them aware without being in their face with awareness and making,
Mhm.
like paying attention because folks don't know how to receive information either. I noticed
Yeah.
that like they struggle with whenever you're talking about wellness, they think it's for a certain class of people and not realize that it's for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. And I don't know why that is. Like, mm, God ultimately wants us all to flourish and have
exactly.
abundance. He doesn't want us to be ill and, struggling, and that's
Exactly.
not what he wants. So, oh, that's a good point, Yali.
Mhm. It's having to maneuver how to get the information to the parent and having
Yes,
the
and
parent.
them having the awareness. So it's
Exactly.
like you gotta start with planting the seeds, because some of them have no awareness. They think, what they're doing is perfectly
Yeah,
fine.
they do.
And they don't understand why their child is acting out. They don't understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Has to do with everything that you just mentioned, right? The food,
Mhm.
not exercising. They took remember gym, we had to exercise in gym. You had to
Required.
check required.
Hmm.
Now, forget about it. There's no such thing as exercising. You can stand over there with your group and have a conversation as long as you're dressed out. That's it. They're not even focusing on that. Yeah. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's sad.
Back then, I used to be like, man, I'm gonna be sweaty because
Right,
I took gym, right? Because you knew you were gonna be out there running. They were gonna
right.
have you doing something. But oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah.
I don't understand. This society isn't helping. So that's why I'm such a huge advocate, because I know so many people don't even know what to do. Like they don't have my background where, if you come from a Caribbean household, you have more of an idea of
Yes.
ways to live healthier because
Yes.
you saw food grow. You
Mhm.
know, like your parents were using different herbs that they had growing in the backyard to help with different ailments. Oh, you got a headache? Oh, your stomach hurt? Let me boil this bush. I grew up with that. But then
Yes.
I realized there's a lot of people who are only from the United States. They might not have those experiences unless they're like from a country area that's more rural and they had a farm. But
Yes.
so a lot of people from the cities are disconnected. So
They
we just
are.
got to
They
plug them
are.
in.
But you
Hmm.
have something that can reconnect people, even creating and building in their own home, right? The tower.
Yes.
Tell us more
Yes.
about that.
So one of the products I also share is called the Tower Garden,
Mm.
and it's a way to grow your own fruits and vegetables. right inside. You can grow it inside your house or outside. We're in South Florida. You can grow outside all year round here.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a way to grow your own food. And I got mine when my kids were 2 and 4 when I
Okay.
purchased it. So I've had it for 14 years.
Wow.
13 years I've had my tower gardens. Everything grows in half the time it would in soil because
Okay.
now they extracted the nutrients from the soil and put it in a
Mhm.
liquid form. So it's in the water, it gets fed directly to the roots. Everything grows so quickly that I've gotten them in so many schools around the Tri County area, down here in
Beautiful.
Broward, Miami, because they can put them in the classrooms and the
Oh,
kids
wow.
watch them grow. Yeah, we have schools that have like 10 of them and they love it. They love it because they're amazed at how quickly they're seeing things grow. Now,
Yeah.
guess what happens? Those kids that a lot of them don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, now that they saw it grow, they eat it because they're like,
Yes.
oh, I want to try it. So now they're eating it. They can have like events where they're giving out little salad platters and everyone's eating. I have a high school, my old high school
Mhm.
incorporated some for
Love
the
it.
yeah, and he got them. He wants to get more, but he got them specifically for his special needs group. So he
Wow.
got 3 tower gardens for that group. And let me tell you, when I went in
Hmm.
and they came in, and I was showing them how to set them up,
Hmm.
these kids with special needs, they were so smart. I was showing them how to do it, and we put together like one. And so then the kids wanted to put together the other two. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And one of them, someone put it together wrong. It might have been me or maybe one of the teachers. And so those kids took it apart on their own and put it together themselves because it's so easy to put together. But I was so impressed because I
Yeah.
was like, a lot of them were nonverbal, but they were so excited.
Wow.
Yes. And then guess what? In 4 weeks, I got pictures from the school showing me, oh, we had a salad. We were giving out salad to everyone. They had because you get so much produce. If you're growing lettuce, you get a bunch
Yeah.
of lettuce. You're getting,
Really?
they grew, I couldn't, in 4 weeks, they were moving. I don't know how theirs grew so fast, but usually if you are growing lettuce, you'll get a head of lettuce in 4 weeks. They
Wow.
had salad. They were giving out salad in the hallway for lunch. They had salads in the classroom, and all the kids were eating the salad because they knew they were grown on the. It was amazing, and that was a high school,
It's all psychological, right?
isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so that it excites me. Like I've been growing on it for the past 13 years, but when I bring them into schools, I get so excited for those
Yeah.
kids and then
Yeah.
to see their excitement and to see them like, "Oh, wow, that's how this grows. That's what it looks like when it's a little baby plant." And so we also have curriculum, so it
Yeah.
makes it easy for schools to incorporate it because we give them curriculum that they can just say, "Follow this." And
Yes.
then they can a lot of schools they might be growing in the ground too, so they can do a compare and contrast, and it's
Okay.
so much they can do with it, and it's all
Wow.
science based.
Right.
It's amazing. So there's so many things. There's churches that have incorporated it in California. A lot
Mhm.
of places incorporated them at like restaurants have them, so they're using the produce for the restaurant.
Beautiful.
Chicago O'Hare Airport has like 40 of them on one of
Really?
in one of Chicago O'Hare is so huge, but they have like 40 of them in a terminal, and
Hmm.
all the restaurants in that area use the produce for the restaurant. So those people are getting fresh organic produce in there
Wow.
in what they're eating when they eat at those restaurants.
That's beautiful. I did
There's
not
a ton
know.
of places. New York has a restaurant that has like 60 of them on the rooftop, and they use all the produce in the restaurant. It's amazing.
I
It's
love
amazing.
that. I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. I didn't even know the depth of the food tower until right now that you're explaining it. So now I want my own.
Yeah. You know what's amazing? Because a lot of people that might live in food deserts,
Hmm.
like New York can be a big food desert
Right.
because, you only got the little corner store. So
Hmm.
for them, when the pandemic hit,
Hmm.
they were buying up those towers so they could grow on their patio because
Wow.
they were concerned with people touching their food. Because remember, the pandemic, we
Yep.
didn't know what was going on, how it was getting transferred. So they were like, oh no, it's time to grow my influence. So, people have apartments, but they were growing it right on their patio, or some people
Yeah.
brought them in. Yeah, it is amazing.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's a perfect segue into your holistic network. I want you to say what's coming up.
The Holistic Business Network is so funny. So I was slaying in fruits and vegetables, helping people grow their own food, and
Mhm.
helping people get more fruits and vegetables through supplements, whole food concentrates
Mhm.
for 10 years. And then, boom, no, it was 9 years. And then the pandemic hit in
Uh-huh.
2020.
Uh-huh.
And I was like helping people. There were so many people that were just like flooding us to get that nutrition and to find ways to grow their own food.
Mhm.
But by 2021, I started to realize we're not hearing on the news like these all these natural ways that people can help to fortify their health, like help to get
Mhm.
healthier. And I'm like, I know I share what I share about plant nutrition, how important that can be, but there's so
Mhm.
many other things because of the company I partnered with and learning all the things. There's so many other things I do. Like I go to a chiropractor. I use an acupuncturist. I've been using natural deodorant for like over like 9 years now.
Okay.
So I've been using natural products in the house. Like I'm mindful. Like there's so many things I do that I was like, wait a minute, I know way too many people that
Mhm.
have some solutions that help people stay healthy,
Right.
you know, through and instead of being panicked, incorporate solutions. So in my head, I was like, okay, I've been doing events. At that point, I had been doing events for 9 years for my
Okay.
business.
Okay.
But then I said, nope, I'm going to transition into not just doing events for myself. I'm just one aspect of how people can get healthier. I want to start helping people learn about all these different ways they can, get their health, at another level.
Right.
So that's when I started having these holistic health and wellness networking events
Mhm.
because I was just bringing together all these different businesses that could showcase the things that they do too. And so it started with that. And then it was such a demand for the people that were a part of those events that by the next year, I created the Holistic Business Network because I was like, oh, I guess I need a resource for
Right.
people to find these different, they're like excited to learn about all these different ways to get healthier.
Yes.
So we created the Holistic Business Network. And then now it keeps evolving because there's just so much work to do to help, lift up health and wellness out here. So many people have been, it's so funny. You have two groups of people that are like, oh, yes, this is, these are the basics. And then you have
Right.
people that are like, wait, they're not used to this information. They're used to
Yes.
they hear from a doctor and all the medical advice, and they're so tied to that.
Mhm.
So just allowing them to see, there's herbs that can relieve pain. There's things you can do to reduce stress, like practices that like Yali practices, all these things you do to help people overcome, like even PTSD or,
Right.
there's so many things out there. You don't have to take a pill for everything.
Exactly.
So that's been one of the things there. So the Holistic Business Network consists of all kinds of health and wellness businesses. Yali's one of them, that a bunch of health and wellness practitioners. And so it's just a really great way and resource for people not only outside to find those solutions, but also within our community to
Yes.
connect with each other and find ways that they can collaborate, grow together. I love
Absolutely.
seeing the members like connecting and finding ways to help expand their message, right? And so that's what it's all about. And it leads into where we're going next month. Promoting it for a few months now, but
Uh-huh.
South Florida Wellness Week, where we're just going to be taking over the Tri-County area,
Beautiful.
spreading the health and wellness message. So we're just going to be flooding Palm Beach, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale with these events that people can come and learn from experts and
Yes.
doctors about natural health and wellness, the things that you would think are innate, but a lot of people have been separated. So we're trying to bring the community back to learn these things and then also help the health and wellness business grow in multiple ways. Like the first night, we're not only going to have a doctor's panel where they're going to be sharing, the latest and greatest in certain things that some people might not even know about,
Right.
but then we're going to have a media panel where we're going to have experts in media helping to expand, ways to grow your visibility as a business, as a health and wellness business.
I love
So
that.
yeah, these are conversations that a lot of times when we're in the natural health and wellness space, you don't get to hear.
Right.
So we're doing things that, the big giants they're doing them. They know this information. We want to expand that information to our community so that we can have the tools and the resources we need to grow.
So where people can find you or find to purchase their own ticket to attend this event, because it's going to be fantabulous.
And they can find tickets at southfloridawellnessweek.com. They can see all the itinerary. We start off with the media and doctor panel on the Wednesday night. Well, we kick off with a virtual event on Sunday, October 5th. Mm-hmm. But then on October 8th is when our first in-person event is happening with the panels, the doctors and the media panel. And we're also going to have a mobile wellness center.
Beautiful.
She has a sauna, cold plunge, all these modalities in a center that she just travels all over.
I love it.
She'll be there giving tours of that. The next day, we're going to be doing penthouse lectures, which are going to be like TED Talk style talks where people will get to hear from experts in whatever area they're in. Mm-hmm. And then we'll also do our signature matchmaking, holistic matchmaking. So you'll get to meet a ton of people in the room. Friday, we're going to be at the spa. Mm-hmm. So we're going to kick it off with some talks at the spa, but then we're going to have access to the spa and its amenities for the day. So we're going to be hanging out, connecting, networking, and that includes lunch. And then on Saturday is the big day. That's where we have the summit. Mm-hmm. That's where we're helping businesses learn how to expand and grow. They're going to be hearing from other like NFL players that transitioned from being professional athletes. Now they're in the wellness industry because people don't realize this industry is growing so much, so fast.
Yes.
And so we want everyone we know in this space to be able to take advantage of the $9 trillion that they're saying this industry is going to grow into by 2028. That's one of our main goals. We want to see everyone winning and take advantage of the money that was going to be poured. We don't want it to only go to the big companies and we want to see, the smaller companies winning too. So we're going to have the summit in the morning from 8 to 3, teaching so many of the tools, resources. And then at night, we're going to have a gala where we're going to be partying, but also recognizing health and wellness businesses that are doing amazing things in the space. There's still an opportunity to vote on South Florida Wellness Week for your favorite health and wellness business. You can vote for yourself because there's a lot of y'all out there doing really amazing things. You can vote for yourself, put your name in there. Yeah, that's all the things that's going on. It's going to be fire.
So where again can they find a ticket for this amazing event?
So they can find it at southfloridawellnessweek.com, but we're also on Eventbrite too. So if you go to Eventbrite and type in South Florida Wellness Week, you'll find it on Eventbrite also. So there's 2 places to find the tickets.
Beautiful. Gratitude for joining me today, Michelle. I so appreciate your presence and your information that you have shared with us today. Gratitude for tuning in. To those of you that have listened, please don't forget to share. I hope this conversation was inspiring to you. And if you're looking for more information, you can also find it at yaligiovanni.com. Thank you once again, Michelle. Y'all have a great day.